No one teaches you this. Have you ever said yes when everything in you was screaming no? You didn't want to. You knew you shouldn't. But you did. Because you didn't want to hurt them. You didn't want to seem rude. You didn't want to disappoint. So, you gave away your time, your energy, your peace, to keep someone else comfortable, to be liked, to avoid conflict. We've all been there. And here's the part no one tells you. Every time you say yes to something that drains you, you're saying no to your own life, to your sleep, to your goals, to your self-respect. This video is not just about boundaries. It's not about being cold or heartless or selfish. It's about something much deeper. It's about becoming the kind of person who knows who they are, who protects what matters, who walks with quiet confidence, not because they say yes to everything, but because they've learned the power of saying no. See, today, I want to tell you the truth, a truth I wish I had learned 10 years ago. We'll explore this power, not just with quotes and cliches, but through real stories, real books, and the wisdom of men who've been through the fire. Men who have said, enough. Men who stopped apologizing for their own limits. Men who reclaimed their time, their mind, their mission, by learning when and how to say no. You're going to hear why people-pleasing is slowly killing your drive. What happens when your life is ruled by other people's expectations? How the wisest men in history, from Marcus Aurelius to modern leaders, used this one skill to stay focused. And how you, yes, you, can learn it too. But before we dive in, let me make one thing clear. This video is not going to coddle you. This isn't self-help sugar-coated. This is the masculine kind of peace. The kind you earn by taking ownership of your time, your choices, your identity. So get ready. You're not just watching a video. You're entering a conversation. One between you and the version of yourself who's been waiting for you to finally say, no, not anymore. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The Curse of the Nice Guy. We all know the nice guy, the one who never raises his voice, the one who always agrees, the one who quietly sacrifices and slowly withers away. Here's the secret nobody tells you. Being nice can become a trap, a cage of your own making. I just want to fit in. How many times have you said that? How many times have you swallowed your pride and bitten back your own needs just to avoid a single awkward moment? You say yes to an extra shift at work because you don't want to seem lazy. You say yes to a friend's late night call even though you need sleep. You say yes to a social event when all you want is silence. And every time, you lose a little piece of yourself, a little piece of your peace, a little piece of your power. Most of us learn people-pleasing early. As kids, we're taught, be polite, share your toys, don't make waves. But somewhere along the line, where polite becomes we never speak our mind, share your toys becomes give everything away, don't make waves becomes don't rock the boat, even if it's sinking. And then, when we're grown men, we wonder why we feel empty, why our energy is gone, why our life feels borrowed. Meet James. He was the friend everyone loved, the coworker they relied on, the guy who never complained. But here's what nobody saw. James was exhausted. James was resentful. James was unhappy. He worked overtime, unpaid, because he couldn't say no. He lent money, again, because he couldn't disappoint. He said yes to every invitation, until he had no time left for himself. One night, he sat alone in his car, engine idling, his phone buzzing with more requests. He stared at the steering wheel and whispered, "I can't do this anymore." In that moment, James realized his kindness had become his cage. Harriet Breaker calls this the disease to please. She writes, "When you are a people pleaser, you live your life in the shadow of what others want. You lose your boundaries. People pleasers let anyone cross the line because they don't know where it is. You lose your identity. You become defined by everyone else's expectations. You lose your power. When you give away your no, you give away your control. Imagine a man who never says no. He's always late. He's always tired. He's always resentful. That resentment festers. It turns to bitterness. And eventually, it explodes. What happens when you never say no? You burn out. Your body and mind simply break. You attract the wrong people because they know you'll never push back. You forfeit your dreams. Your yes becomes their yes, and your goals get crushed. Think about that for a second. Every yes given away is time stolen from your purpose, is energy robbed from your ambitions, is respect drained from your own self-worth. So, how do you stop? How do you break free from the curse of the nice guy? 1. Recognize when you're saying yes out of fear. 2. Remember your priorities, your work, your family, your health. 3. Respond with a simple phrase. "I'm sorry, but I can't commit to that right now." Feel that resistance in your chest. That's your old conditioning fighting back. You'll feel guilt. You'll feel doubt. You'll feel uncomfortable. Good. That's growth. That's the first crack in the cage. Start small. Say no to one extra email. Say no to one invitation you don't want. Say no to one favor that drains you. Notice how it feels. Your chest lifts. Your mind clears. Your energy returns. Each no is a tiny victory, and victory builds momentum. In Chapter 2, we'll dive into the true cost of these yeses. We'll explore how saying yes to everyone is really saying no to your focus, your passion, your destiny. But for now, take a moment, reflect on your own nice guy moments, and ask yourself, what step can I take today to start saying no? Chapter 2. Saying yes to everyone is saying no to yourself. What if I told you every time you say yes to a request, you're secretly saying no to your own life? It sounds counterintuitive, but it's true. When you spread yourself thin, when you chase every opportunity, when you refuse to disappoint, you fragment your focus, you dilute your passion, you betray your own purpose. Every yes costs you time you can never recover, costs you energy that fuels your greatest work, costs you clarity so you wander without a map. Imagine your life as a series of doors. Each yes opens one door, but at the same time closes dozens of others. You can't explore every corridor. You can't chase every dream. You must choose. Greg McKeown's Essentialism is a modern classic on less but better. He writes, "If you don't prioritize your life, someone else will." Essentialists define what truly matters, then ruthlessly eliminate the rest. Trade-offs are inevitable. Saying no isn't optional. It's the price of high performance. Intentional living. When you choose deliberately, You live with power, not by default. Visualize this, a craftsman sharpening one blade to perfection, rather than forging a dozen dull knives. Picture a man juggling 5 flaming torches. Each torch represents a commitment, work project, side hustle, social life, family obligations, personal goals. At first, he's impressive, but soon, he's exhausted. His hands burn, his mind scatters, and then they fall. Torches hit the ground, chaos ensues. The lesson: you can't master everything. You must choose which flames to ignite. Centuries ago, the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius warned, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." He understood that deliberation without action and action without purpose are both wasteful. Being one means defining your own standard, rejecting distractions, saying no to anything that does not serve your highest self. Let's bring it into the 20th century. Steve Jobs returned to a struggling Apple in 1997. What did he do first? He canceled over 70% of Apple's product lines. 70%. Why? Because focus requires sacrifice. Jobs knew that simplicity wins, that the world doesn't need another MP3 player, but it did need the iMac, the iPod, the iPhone. He said no to mediocrity, to noise, to compromise, and that single act reclaimed Apple's soul. In our hyper-connected age, every notification begs for your yes. Can you hop on this quick call? Interested in collaborating? Check out my latest post. Each one feels urgent, but most are not. Every distraction is a tiny death of your deep work. Your most valuable asset isn't your skill set. It's your ability to focus. How do you start saying no to protect your yes? 1. Define your essence. Write down your top 3 priorities: work, health, relationships, whatever fuels you. Circle them. Everything else is negotiable. 2nd, schedule your no time. Block off hours each day for uninterrupted work or rest. Treat it like a meeting you can't break. 3. Practice the pause. When asked to commit, "Let me check my calendar and get back to you." Use that moment to decide if it aligns with your priorities. At first, this feels uncomfortable. People will push back. Your gut will squirm. But here's the truth. Every time you choose deliberately, you build trust with yourself. You reinforce that your time, your goals matter, and the world learns to respect your limits. Your no becomes a shield, not a weapon. In Chapter 3, we'll dig into real men say no calmly, how to deliver your refusal with strength, clarity, and zero guilt. We'll look at scripts you can use immediately and learn from men like Ryan Holiday and William Ury, who have perfected the art. Chapter 3. Real men say no calmly. Saying no doesn't have to be loud. It doesn't have to be crude. It simply has to be clear. That, my friend, is the art of the calm refusal. A refusal delivered with quiet confidence, rooted in your own purpose. But we've been sold a lie. Real men are aggressive. Real men never back down. But true strength, it's not about volume. It's about control. Control of your emotions. Control of your time. Control of your boundaries. Calm refusal is the ultimate display of that control. It shows you know your worth, and you guard it without apology. Ryan Holiday, author and modern Stoic, teaches us about the media fast. After years of distraction, He chose to say no to endless news feeds, to likes, to reflexive scrolling. He didn't rant about it. He didn't shame anyone. He simply disconnected. I was reclaiming my mind, he said. I decided what deserved my attention. He proved that a calm no off social media yields more creative space, more mental clarity, more peace. William Ury, the co-founder of Harvard's program on negotiation, redefines no as a bridge, not a barrier. He argues a positive no is composed of 3 steps. Step 1, yes to the relationship or yes to yourself. O, establish common ground. I value our friendship. Step 2, no to the request. O, be direct, but I can't commit to that right now. Step 3, yes to an alternative. O, offer another solution. However, I could help you next week. That structure transforms no from a shutdown into a connection. Your words, they matter, but even more, your tone and your pause shape the impact. Speak slowly. Lower your pitch by just a notch. Pause before the no. Let the weight settle. Let me think about that. Pause. I'm sorry. I can't do it. That pause. It's your mind deciding on your terms. It's your body saying, I am in charge here. Here are 4 simple scripts. Tailor them to your style. 1, the direct approach. I appreciate you thinking of me. Unfortunately, I'm not able to take that on right now. 2, the boundary setter. I'm flattered by the offer, but I've committed my time elsewhere. 3, the alternative offer. I can't help with that. However, I know someone who might. 4, the delay tactic. Let me check my schedule and get back to you tomorrow. Deliver these with a steady eye contact, a calm tone, and a brief pause before the no. Practice the no pause. Step 1, breathe in for 4 counts. Step 2, hold for 2 counts. Step 3, release and say your no. Every pause is a moment to center yourself, to ensure your no is thoughtful, not reactionary. Remember Steve Jobs in 1997? He didn't storm into the boardroom and shout, "Shut it down now." He quietly reviewed the product list. He methodically canceled the weak projects, and he confidently moved forward. His calm no to 70% of Apple's lineup fueled the legendary focus that changed the world. Here's your challenge for today. Pick one request you would normally accept. Use one of the scripts. Deliver it with a pause, a steady tone, and self-assurance. Feel that shift. Feel the respect for yourself that emerges. In Chapter 4, we'll explore your time is your territory, how to guard it, how to expand it, and why your calendar is more sacred than you think. Chapter 4, your time is your territory. Your calendar is not just a tool, it's your territory, and what you allow inside it defines the quality of your life. Every hour you give away, carelessly, is an inch of land taken from your kingdom. In this chapter, we explore how real men claim back their time by understanding that time is power, and power must be protected. We all tell ourselves the same lie. I'll get to it later. I'll rest when I'm done. Next week, things will settle. But later never comes. And so, our hours get stolen by meaningless meetings, by fake emergencies, by people who confuse availability with obedience. Here's the truth. If you don't defend your time, someone else will use it for their goals. Cal Newport introduces us to the world of deep work, the ability to focus without distraction. He argues that deep work is a superpower in the age of noise. A deep life is a good life. He breaks it down like this. 1. Time is your raw material. It's the land you build on. 2. Shallow work feels urgent, but adds a little value. Emails, messages, meetings. 3. Deep work is rare and valuable. The projects that take time, silence, and real focus. Men who protect their time, who carve out sacred hours, become builders, not just responders. Busy is a badge of weakness. It means you're reacting, not choosing. What's better? Being boundaried, being intentional, being deliberate. The man who says, I don't take calls before 11 a.m. My mornings are for deep work. Sunday is offline, no exceptions. That man isn't cold. He's in command. Imagine your calendar like a house. Your most important work, that's the master bedroom. Your health and rest, the kitchen and garden, your fuel. Random distractions, those are uninvited guests knocking at the door. You wouldn't let strangers walk into your bedroom. So why let meaningless interruptions into your deepest hours? Close the door, lock it, and let in only what strengthens you. Benjamin Franklin was one of the most disciplined men in history. His daily schedule was written, rehearsed, and respected. He woke at 5 a.m., asked himself, what good shall I do this day? Worked in blocks, rested deliberately, reviewed his actions each evening. Franklin knew, if you want to own your life, you must own your hours. Let's get tactical. Here's how to protect your territory in the real world. Step 1. Time audit. For 1 week, track your time in 30-minute blocks. Highlight which blocks were valuable versus wasted. Patterns will emerge. Step 2. The rule of 3. Identify your top 3 priorities each day. Everything else, optional, not urgent, not essential. Step 3. Use time blocks. Morning, deep work, creative tasks. Afternoon, admin, meetings. Evening, rest, reflection, family, office. Then protect it like your life depends on it, because in many ways, it does. Yes, when you start protecting your time, people will react. Why aren't you available? Can't you just do this one quick thing? You've changed. Let them. You have changed. You're no longer handing out pieces of yourself like free samples. You're building something. And only those who respect that belong inside your territory. Epictetus once said, no man is free who is not master of himself. Time is the first frontier of that mastery. Say no to what doesn't serve your higher purpose, and you say yes to freedom. Let me leave you with this simple mantra. I own time. Say it in the mirror tomorrow morning. Say it when someone texts you at midnight. Say it when you feel pressure to overcommit. I own time. Not your boss, not your clients, not even your family. You, because the man who masters his hours masters his destiny. Chapter 5. When you don't say no, they control you. Let's get one thing straight. If you don't say no, someone else is running your life. They're steering your schedule. They're shaping your self-worth. And worst of all, they're conditioning you to believe that compliance equals kindness. It doesn't. Every man faces them. The manipulative friend who only calls when he needs something. The toxic boss who praises your work, then loads you with double the tasks. The romantic partner who confuses love with control. If you really cared, you'd do this for me. They all have one thing in common. They thrive on your inability to say no. And if you keep nodding your head, keep saying, sure, no problem, you're not being generous, you're being conquered. Let me tell you about a man named Ethan. Smart, capable, dedicated. He got his first real job at 24, entry level at a mid-sized marketing firm. The hours were long, the pay was average, but the guilt, crippling. They took a chance on me, he said. I can't let him down. So when he was asked to stay late, he stayed. When the workload doubled, he smiled. When the promotions skipped over him, he stayed silent. 5 years. 5 years of yes, I can. While his dreams dried up. By the time he finally quit, Ethan was 29, burned out, bitter, and years behind where he could have been. All because he didn't say no, not once. Nedra Tawwab in book Set Boundaries, Find Peace says it clearly. Boundaries are expectations and needs that help you feel safe and comfortable in relationships. Her core message, saying no is not rejection, it's not cruelty, it's self-respect in action. She breaks it down into 3 truths every man must understand. 1, people don't respect your limits. They respect your clarity. If you're vague, they push. If you're firm, they adapt. 2, boundaries don't keep people out. They keep the wrong people out and let the right ones come closer with mutual respect. 3, guilt is not a red flag. It's a sign you're healing. That discomfort you feel after saying no, that's the sound of you reclaiming your space. Let's kill the narrative once and for all. You're not a bad man for saying no. You're not cold. You're not weak. You're not too serious. You're simply putting your values before other people's demands. And that's not selfish. That's strong. You drain your energy on things that don't matter. You become resentful of the people you once loved. You lose the trust in yourself to protect your peace. Eventually, you stop asking, what do I want? And you start asking, what will make them happy? That's not love. That's not service. That's submission. And if you stay there long enough, you forget what you even wanted in the first place. Here's a phrase that separates boys from men. That doesn't work for me. You don't owe a long explanation. You don't have to beg. You don't have to get angry. You just need to say it. Calm, controlled, certain. That doesn't work for me. Not because you hate them. Not because you're difficult, but because you love yourself enough to protect your peace. Think about one person in your life who takes too much, who expects too much, who assumes your yes. Now imagine this. You pause, you breathe, you look them in the eye and say, no, that doesn't work for me. You don't have to raise your voice. You don't have to justify it. You just need to mean it, because in that moment, you become your own man. Chapter 6. Books that teach men to say no. Sometimes it only takes one book to change how you show up in the world. If you were never taught how to say no with strength, calm, and conviction, these books will do it. They aren't loud. They don't preach, but they will confront you with truth. Here are 6 powerful books every man should read to learn the art of saying no. Essentialism by Greg McKeown. If you don't prioritize your life, someone else will. This book is a sword. It cuts through the noise. It teaches you to stop chasing everything and start protecting what matters most. McKeown reveals how saying no is not just a decision, it's a strategy. You don't do more by being more available. You do more by being less distracted. Your energy is finite. Use it with intention. Say no to overcommitment, social pressure, things that look urgent but aren't important. With the Power of a Positive No by William Ury. A positive no is rooted in what you're for, not just what you're against. This book is a guide for warriors, not with fists, but with principle. Ury teaches a 3-step method: yes, no, yes. First, say yes to your core values. Then, say no to what threatens them. Finally, offer a different yes, a new possibility that respects both sides. You can be firm without being cruel. Say no with calm tone, clear boundaries, respect for yourself and others. It's not about shutting doors. It's about walking through the right ones. The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson. You have a limited number of F's keys to give, so choose them wisely. Blunt, honest, no sugarcoating. This book will slap you in the best way. Manson dismantles the myth that you must care about everything. You don't. Not everything deserves your time, your guilt, or your attention. Say no to toxic positivity, external validation, drama disguised as obligation. You can't fix everything, and you shouldn't try, because every yes you give to nonsense is a no to your purpose. The Courage to be Disliked by Ichiro Kishimi and Fumitake Koga. Freedom is being disliked by others. This book is a conversation between a wise philosopher and a skeptical young man, and it teaches something radical, that living authentically means being willing to disappoint people, so you don't disappoint yourself. When you stop needing to be liked, you start living for truth. Say no to approval addiction, groupthink, roles that don't fit your soul. Let them misunderstand you. Let them talk. You're not here to be convenient. You're here to be whole. Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. Ask yourself at every moment, is this necessary? This is not just a book, it's a mirror. The emperor philosopher teaches one thing above all: discipline of mind equals discipline of life. When you learn to quiet the noise, you start seeing what deserves your yes and what deserves your silence. Self-mastery begins with discernment. Say no to every impulse, every invitation, every thought that weakens you. Aurelius didn't write for fame. He wrote for clarity. And if you want clarity, learn to say no. Set boundaries. Find Peace by Nedra Glover. Tawab. Healthy relationships have clear boundaries. Period. This book is the emotional compass. It reminds men, especially those taught to be stoic, that emotional strength comes from self-protection, not suppression. Boundaries are a language. If you don't speak them, others will write your script. Say no to guilt-based relationships, one-sided friendships, emotional exhaustion. Peace isn't passive. It's earned by protecting what matters. You don't need all 6 books at once. Start with one. Let it open your eyes. Let it challenge your beliefs. Let it show you what your YES is really costing you. Remember, books don't just inform, they reform. And in the right moment, a single chapter can give you the courage to finally say no. Coming up next, say no to become who you are. we'll explore how every no you say isn't just a rejection of something else. It's a return to yourself, the real you, the unedited you, the man behind the mask. Chapter 7. Say no to become who you are. Every time you say no to the wrong thing, you're saying yes to the man you were meant to be. Let that land. Because this isn't just about boundaries anymore. This is about identity. The mask men wear. Most men don't realize it, but they're wearing a mask, not the Halloween kind, the quiet, everyday kind. The mask says, I've got it all together. I'll take care of it. I don't mind, really. We say yes to expectations, yes to pressure, yes to roles that shrink us. And the longer we wear the mask, the more we forget what's underneath. The privilege of a lifetime is being who you are. Joseph Campbell. But here's the hard truth. To become who you are, you'll have to say no to who they told you to be. Let me tell you about Mike Sanders, late 30s, father of 2, middle manager at a Fortune 500 company in Chicago. Everyone thought Mike was set. He had the salary, the 401k, the corner office, the title. But what nobody saw was the weight on his chest every Sunday night. He wasn't burned out. He was disconnected from himself. He used to love coaching youth basketball. He had a dream to open a training center for boys without fathers. But that dream got buried under a pile of spreadsheets and business trips. Until one night, sitting alone in his car, he broke down. And then he woke up the next morning and did something most men are too afraid to do. He said no. No to another year of just surviving. No to a career that was slowly erasing his soul. No to the story others wrote for him. Mike downsized, moved into a smaller home, took a year off to coach full-time. Today, he runs a nonprofit mentorship program for young boys across the Midwest. He's not making Wall Street money, but every day he says, I finally feel like I'm living for something real. Here's the thing. When you say no to fitting in, you make space to stand out in your truth. It won't be easy. You'll feel guilt. You'll disappoint people. You'll lose approval. But here's the reward. Authenticity. Peace. A life that finally makes sense. Your no becomes a shield, not against people, but against false versions of yourself. The ikigai tie-in. In Japanese, there's a word. Ikigai, the reason you wake up in the morning. It lives where 4 things intersect. What you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for. Most men never find their ikigai because they say yes to everything but themselves. Yes to jobs that numb them. Yes to expectation that choke them. Yes to being liked instead of being real. But when you start saying no to distractions, to pressure, to roles that don't fit you, you start uncovering the thing that does. This is the fight. Let me say it clearly. The real fight is not with the world. It's with the voice in your head that says, don't rock the boat. Be nice. Don't make them uncomfortable. But your soul wasn't made to live in a cage. And sometimes, saying no is the only way out. You don't have to be loud. You don't have to be rude. But you do have to be clear. Because a man who doesn't know when to say no will never know what he's actually saying yes to. Tonight, pause the noise, grab a pen, write this down. Where in my life am I saying yes when my soul is screaming no? You already know the answer. Now, it's time to act on it. This chapter is not about rebellion. It's about returning to the man you were before the world told you who to be, to the fire you had before it got buried under meetings, bills, and expectations. Say no, not because you're angry, but because you're finally awake. And when you say no with intention, the world doesn't fall apart. It rearranges around your truth. Chapter 8. It's not a one-time fix, it's a practice. Saying no once feels powerful. Saying no consistently, that's a transformation. If you've made it this far in the video, then you already know this isn't just a concept. It's a commitment, it's a practice, and it's going to take time. Like going to the gym, think of it like lifting weights. The first time you walk into the gym, you're awkward. The form is off. The weight feels heavy. You question everything. Same with saying no. You'll feel awkward. You'll doubt yourself. You might even say yes right after practicing your no in the mirror. That's normal, because this is a muscle, and muscles only grow with tension, repetition, and rest. You will feel guilt at first. Let's be real, there will be guilt. You'll say no to a friend's request and feel like a bad person. You'll say no to a last-minute work demand and worry they'll resent you. You'll say no to family pressure and hear the voice in your head say, "You've changed. You're selfish. You used to be so nice." That guilt, it's the detox. It's your nervous system adjusting to new boundaries. You're not being cruel. You're being clear. And the people who respect you will respect your no. Book Echo, The Power of a Positive No by William Ury. William Ury calls it the positive no. It's not about rejection. It's about redirection. A positive no is anchored in yes, a deeper yes to your own values. That means every time you say no, you're saying yes to your peace, your priorities, your future. And that's not selfish. That's self-respect. Practical exercise. 1. Look back. Let's do this together. Think back to the last 7 days. Write down 3 moments where you said yes and immediately regretted it. That meeting you didn't want to join. That call you didn't have energy for. That favor you couldn't afford to give. Ask yourself, what would have happened if I had said no? Play it out. You'll realize most of the time the world keeps spinning and you would have been a little freer. Do 1 no a day. Now try this for the next 7 days. Say 1 intentional no every day. It doesn't have to be big. It can be, no, I can't take that call tonight. No, I'm not available this weekend. No, I don't agree, and that's okay. Track it. Write down how you felt. Notice the internal resistance and how it changes over time. This is how you build the muscle, day by day, no by no, until one day it's not scary anymore. It's second nature. Show meditation, the space between. Here's a powerful shift. Saying no isn't about pushing away. It's about creating space. Space for clarity. Space for truth. Space for you. And in that space, you'll realize you were never obligated to say yes in the first place. You were allowed to choose. You always were. You just needed to remember your power. You'll still mess up. Let's be honest. There will still be moments when you fold. Moments when fear wins. Moments when you say yes out of habit. And that's okay. This isn't about perfection. It's about progress. Each day you practice, each no you deliver with calm strength. You are becoming someone new, someone grounded, someone honest, someone free. I want you to remember this. You either say no to the world, or the world says no to your soul. Let that echo, because if you don't protect your energy, no one else will. So here's your homework, if you're serious. 1. Write down 3 recent bad yeses and why you said them. 2. Commit to 1 NO per day for 7 days. 3. Reflect. How does it feel to finally honor your limits? This is your practice. This is your path. And every small no is a big yes to your truth. So, focus on my last words. Reclaim your yes. Here we are. You made it. Through the people-pleasing, through the guilt, through the fear of disappointing others. And now, you're standing on the other side, not just with more clarity, but with power. Real, quiet, grounded power. Here's what I hope you've taken from this journey. Saying no is not about rejection. It's about redirection. It's not cold. It's not cruel. It's clarity. Clarity about who you are, what you value, and what kind of life you're no longer willing to sacrifice. You've seen the stories. You've heard the books. You've felt the truth arising inside you. Now comes the most important part, living it. Because this isn't a motivational video. This is a mirror. And if you saw yourself in these chapters, the overwhelmed man, the overcommitted friend, the always nice guy, then it's time to choose different. Not someday, not next year, now. Say no to what drains you, so you can say yes to what builds you. Say no to what numbs you, so you can say yes to what wakes you up. This isn't just about boundaries. It's about becoming the man you were meant to be. Before you go, take 10 seconds and comment below which book or lesson hit you the hardest. Your story might help another man realize he's not alone. And if this video helped you, share it with a friend who says yes to everything, even when it's killing him inside. This was Suenyo Reads. Drift into knowledge. Wake up inspired.